The subcompact city car segment has undergone a massive electrification shift, and two of the biggest heavy hitters have arrived with serious updates: the Toyota Aygo-X Hybrid and the completely redesigned Renault Clio Full Hybrid. While both cars fight for urban supremacy, they approach the tiny city car brief from different angles. The Toyota Aygo-X is an A-segment city car raised into a chunky, miniature crossover, whereas the Renault Clio is a B-segment supermini that has grown slightly larger to offer big car tech and power. Powertrain and performance, efficiency versus punch. Both cars have ditched pure ICE options for full hybrid tech, but they deliver drastically different driving dynamics. Toyota Aygo-X Hybrid. Toyota gave the Aygo-X a major heart transplant by dropping in the 1.5-liter 3-cylinder full hybrid system, borrowed from the Yaris. Output: 114 HP. 0 to 100 km per hour, 0 to 62 miles per hour 9.2 seconds. Transmission: e-CVT. The drive. This powertrain fundamentally fixes the old Aygo-X's biggest flaw: it used to take over 15 seconds to hit highway speeds. Around town, it is incredibly zippy, responsive off the line, and can run on pure electricity up to city speeds. Renault Clio Full Hybrid, E-Tech 160. The Clio steps into a higher performance bracket with its horsepower train-developed 1.8-liter 4-cylinder full hybrid setup. Output: 158 HP. 0 to 100 km per hour, 0 to 62 miles per hour 8.3 seconds. Transmission: F1-derived multi-mode clutchless dog gearbox. The drive. The Clio is noticeably faster and feels much more composed at highway speeds. Its complex gearbox uses a secondary electric motor to smooth out shifts, giving it a punchy, elastic power delivery that makes it feel like a true warm hatch. Winner: Renault Clio for sheer performance and highway capability, Toyota Aygo-X for effortless, seamless CVT urban crawling. Fuel economy and running costs. Because both cars weigh relatively little compared to heavy EVs, their real-world fuel efficiency figures are staggering. Toyota Aygo-X Hybrid achieves a spectacular 74.3 mpg, approximate 3.7 L/100 km, on the WLTP cycle, with CO2 emissions at a rock-bottom 87 g/km. In real-world urban testing, it frequently matches or beats these numbers because it is incredibly lightweight, around 1,100 kilograms. Renault Clio Full Hybrid claims a very close 72.4 mpg, approximate 3.9 L/100 km, and 89 g/km of CO2. Renault notes that because of its aggressive energy recovery, it can complete up to 80% of urban driving solely on electric power. Winner: tie. The Aygo-X edges it out slightly on paper due to its smaller footprint and lower weight, but both will keep your fuel bills remarkably low. Size, practicality, and dimensions. This is where the class difference becomes highly apparent. Toyota Aygo-X, at just under 3.8 meters, the Aygo-X is a master class in urban parking. You can squeeze it into spaces other cars pass up, and its 9.4 m turning circle makes tight U-turns a breeze. However, the rear seats are heavily compromised, legroom is tight, and the rear door openings are famously small. Renault Clio. The Clio is significantly longer and wider. This extra footprint translates directly to cabin comfort. It seats 5 people far more comfortably and boasts a much larger 310-liter boot, even with the hybrid battery beneath the floor, making it a viable road trip car. Winner: Toyota Aygo-X for urban agility, Renault Clio for everyday passenger and cargo practicality. Interior technology and cabin ambience. Both brands have heavily upgraded their tech suites to lure in younger buyers or downsizers who don't want to compromise on premium features. Toyota Aygo-X features a funky, oval-themed dashboard. Lower trims get a 9.0-inch screen, while the XL and GR Sport trims boast a crisp 10.5-inch infotainment display alongside a new 7-inch digital driver display. It includes wireless Apple CarPlay/Android Auto and a fantastic optional JBL audio system. Renault Clio. The Clio interior punches well above its weight class, especially in the Esprit Alpine trim. It features a stunning dual 10.1-inch screen layout running Renault's OpenR link with Google built-in, meaning native Google Maps, Google Assistant, and Play Store apps like Spotify directly on the screen. The cabin uses premium recycled fabrics, Alcantara dash accents, and customizable 48-color ambient lighting. Winner, Renault Clio. Having Google built-in completely transforms the infotainment experience, and the cabin materials feel a step above the Toyota. Ride, handling, and comfort. Toyota Aygo-X, it features a slightly elevated ride height, giving you a commanding view of the road, highly desired for navigating chaotic city traffic. The ride is generally comfortable, though opting for the sportier GR Sport trim stiffens up the suspension and adds 18-inch wheels, which makes handling sharper but compromises its ability to soak up potholes. Renault Clio, the Clio feels like a much bigger car on the move. It is quieter at highway speeds with superior sound deadening. The suspension is tuned dynamically, it resists body lean remarkably well in corners and offers tons of front-end grip, though it can feel slightly firm over sharp expansion gaps. Winner, Toyota Aygo-X for visibility and city comfort, Renault Clio for high-speed refinement and backroad fun. Verdict, which tiny city car is best? Buy the Toyota Aygo-X Hybrid if you want a pure, uncompromising urban tool. If 90% of your driving is done solo or with a partner in tight city centers, its microscopic turning circle, elevated crossover view, and flawless e-CVT urban crawling make it the easiest car in the world to live with. Plus, it offers Toyota's legendary reliability and up to 10-year warranty. Buy the Renault Clio Full Hybrid if you want a small car that does it all. The Clio is more expensive, but it justifies the price by being a true subcompact powerhouse. It's faster, noticeably more spacious for passengers and luggage, boasts vastly superior Google-integrated infotainment, and feels relaxed and refined when you leave the city limits for a long highway journey. Complex engineering, e-CVT vs. the dog box. While both are full hybrids, their transmissions completely alter how the power feels under your right foot. Toyota's e-CVT, planetary gear set. Toyota has perfected this over decades. Because it uses electric motors and planetary gears rather than a traditional belt CVT, there are no physical gears to shift. Around town, it is buttery smooth. When you smash the throttle to merge onto a highway, the engine notes will spike and hold a steady hum while the car catches up. Thanks to the new 1.5-liter engine upgrade, that classic CVT rubber band drone is significantly quieter than in older models. Renault's E-Tech multi-mode gearbox. This is a fascinating piece of motorsport-derived engineering. It features a clutchless 4-speed main gearbox for the engine and a 2-speed gearbox for the electric motor, using a secondary high-voltage starter generator to match gear speeds seamlessly. On a flowing backroad, it delivers a much sportier, step-shifting mechanical feel. However, because it relies heavily on software to predict your next move, it can occasionally hesitate or give a slight jolt if you suddenly change your mind at low speeds, like dropping the throttle right as you enter a roundabout.